When my wife walked out on me and our 3 kids, I thought I'd already hit rock bottom. But I was wrong. Rock bottom came the day doctors told me my little girl was dying. What Claire didn't know, though, was that the man she abandoned was about to rise from the ashes and make her regret everything. If you've ever dreamed of watching karma serve cold, sweet justice to someone who shattered you, smash that like button, subscribe, and grab a seat. This isn't just a story of heartbreak. It's a story of survival, hope, and ultimate revenge. I was 36, a failed writer. Or at least, that's how the world saw me. 3 kids. 1 cramped 2-bedroom apartment. No savings. No safety net. Every morning started the same. Dad, I can't find my socks. Liam, my 5-year-old, would tug at my shirt. Noah, just 3, would giggle, holding a spoon like it was a sword. And Emma, sweet Emma, 8 years old. Bryant, always dreaming. Those mornings were chaos. Cereal spilled, mismatched shoes, rushed hugs. But they were my everything. Then there was Claire, or rather, the void she left behind. 2 years ago, she looked me in the eye and said, "I can't live like this anymore, Harrison. I deserve better." Then she walked out. No warning. No fight for custody. Just gone. She left me standing in the doorway with 3 crying kids clinging to my legs and a mountain of bills I had no idea how to pay. Freelance writing wasn't glamorous. It barely kept food on the table. I wrote ad copy, edited strangers' memoirs, translated user manuals for kitchen appliances I couldn't afford to own. At night, when the kids were asleep, I sat at my desk, staring at an old laptop, trying to breathe life into my half-finished manuscripts. But the exhaustion was a beast. I'd sit there, typing through blurry vision, listening to the apartment creak under silence. Every now and then, I'd whisper to myself, "You have to make this work. You have to." Yet deep down, I felt like I was drowning. And then life threw me a storm I didn't see coming. It started with a cough, just a little tickle in Emma's throat. I brushed it off as a cold. But then came the fevers, the dizziness, the pale skin. I'll never forget the night she woke me at 2 a.m., whispering, "Daddy, it hurts to breathe." I scooped her up and rushed to the ER, Liam and Noah half asleep in the back seat. Hours later, a doctor pulled me aside. His expression, it said everything before his words did. Severe anemia. We suspect acute myeloid leukemia. We need to start treatment immediately. My ears rang. My knees went weak. I wanted to scream, but nothing came out. I called Claire, over and over. She finally answered. "Emma's sick. Please, she needs you. We need you." Her reply was ice cold. I can't. I've moved on, Harrison. I have a new life now." And then click. I stood in that hospital hallway, staring at my phone, feeling like the world had just declared me alone. I reached out to my parents, too. They said they were praying, but never showed up. Not once. So it was just me, Emma, Liam, and Noah. The hospital became our second home. The antiseptic smell clung to my clothes. The beeping machines became my lullaby, and every day was a fight against exhaustion and despair. Somewhere in that chaos, I met Angela. She was a nurse, kind eyes, soft voice, the kind of person who carried light into dark rooms. She'd bring Emma little paper cranes, tell her stories, and somehow make the impossible feel survivable. One night, when Emma was finally asleep, I sat outside her room, face buried in my hands. Angela sat next to me quietly, handed me a cup of lukewarm coffee, and whispered, "You're doing better than you think, Harrison." I wanted to believe her, but every day Emma got weaker. Emma's hair started falling out in clumps. Her cheeks hollowed. Her laugh faded into a faint whisper. One evening, she grabbed my hand and whispered, "Daddy, am I going to die?" I froze. Every fiber of me wanted to lie, to promise her everything would be okay. But instead, I squeezed her hand and whispered back, "Not today, baby. Not today." But not today eventually became today. It was raining the night she left us. I sat by her bed, holding her tiny, trembling hand, feeling every shallow breath like it was my own. She looked up at me, weak but still managing a faint smile. "Daddy, promise me you'll keep writing, so people know my story." I nodded through tears I couldn't control. And then silence. I remember screaming her name, but the world didn't answer. It just broke. After the funeral, I sat in the quiet of my apartment, Liam asleep on the couch, Noah curled up beside him, and Emma's drawings scattered on the floor. I stared at my laptop. The cursor blinked against a blank page. And somewhere deep inside, a thought took root, a thought so small, so fragile, but powerful enough to change everything. I will tell her story. And when I'm done, the world will know who Emma was. And the people who abandoned us, they'll regret it. The nights after Emma's funeral were endless. The apartment was suffocatingly quiet. No laughter. No pitter-patter of little feet. Just silence. Some nights, I stared at the bottle of pills in my drawer, wondering if maybe it would be easier to just stop. But then I'd hear Liam softly whispering in his sleep, or Noah giggling in his dreams, and I'd remember. I can't leave them too. They've already lost enough. Still, the grief was eating me alive. And then one night, at 2:17 a.m., I opened my laptop. The cursor blinked at me like it was daring me to begin. And I started typing. For Emma. At first, the words came slow. But once they started, they wouldn't stop. I wrote about Emma's laugh, about Liam's quiet resilience, about Noah's innocence, about Claire walking out, about the hospital halls that smelled like bleach and fear. Every sentence was a scream I couldn't say out loud. Every page was a tear I couldn't shed anymore. Weeks turned into months. And by the time spring rolled around, I had a 340-page manuscript in my hands. I called it From Ashes. Angela was the first to read it. She stayed up all night, and when she handed it back, her eyes were red and swollen. Harrison, she whispered, this isn't just a book. This is Emma's heartbeat on paper. The world needs to read this. Scene 3, door after door slamming shut. So I sent it out. 27 publishers. I waited. I prayed. And one by one, they rejected me. Too personal. Too heavy. Not marketable enough. Each email felt like a knife twisting deeper into the wound. I almost gave up until one night I found a tiny independent publisher based in Chicago. I sent From Ashes without hope, and 2 weeks later, I got an email that changed my life. We're in. We believe in this story. At first, I thought it would be a quiet release. But From Ashes caught fire in ways I couldn't imagine. Within 3 weeks, a local book blogger wrote a review titled, The Single Dad Who'll Break Your Heart and Mend It Again. That review went viral. Suddenly, people were posting about Emma, sharing quotes from the book, sending me messages saying, your words saved me. Then came the interviews, morning shows, podcasts, national TV. And just like that, my name wasn't just Harrison, the broke single dad anymore. I became Harrison Cole, best-selling author. Success has a funny way of making ghosts come crawling out of the shadows. The first message came from my mother, the same woman who ignored my calls when Emma was in the hospital. Harrison, honey, we're so proud of you. Maybe we can reconnect. I didn't reply. Then came my father, pretending we were close again. And then there was Claire. She called me. I almost didn't answer. But curiosity got the better of me. Harrison, hi. Her voice was softer, sweeter than I remembered. I stayed silent. I've been following your success. The book, the interviews. Emma would be so proud of you. I clenched my jaw, my grip on the phone turning white. What do you want, Claire? I finally said. She hesitated, then sighed. I made a mistake, Harrison. Leaving you, leaving the kids. My new relationship didn't work out. I miss Liam and Noah. Maybe we can start over. My chest tightened, but not from longing. From rage. I let out a bitter laugh. Start over. You walked out when Emma needed you. When I needed you. Now, after building your new life, you come crawling back because I'm on TV? No, Blair. You don't get to rewrite history. But Harrison, they're my kids too. She snapped, her voice suddenly sharp, desperate. No, I said, my voice steady, my anger calm like steel. You forfeited that title the day you chose yourself over them. Liam and Noah are my kids, and they're thriving without you. Silence, then a shaky whisper. You can't keep them from me. I'm not keeping them from you, I replied coldly. They've just stopped asking about you. And with that, I hung up. That was the last time Claire ever called. With the book's success came security. I bought a modest little house, 3 bedrooms, a backyard big enough for Liam and Noah to run wild. We planted roses for Emma, just like she wanted. Liam draws little butterflies on the petals, saying, "These are for Emmy." Noah tells stories at dinner about Emma flying on clouds, and for the first time in years, we laugh without guilt. Angela is with us more now, too. What started as friendship has quietly grown into something deeper, something steady. One night, under the soft glow of the kitchen light, I whispered, "Angela, will you stay with us for good?" She smiled, eyes glistening, and nodded. 2 years later, From Ashes has sold over 3 million copies worldwide. I'm invited to speak at schools, grief support groups, and conferences about resilience and hope. People cry when I talk about Emma. But I always remind them, this isn't a story about loss. It's a story about choosing to live anyway. And Claire? I heard through mutual friends she's working 2 jobs, living in a cramped apartment, barely scraping by, the very life she once said she was too good for. I don't feel joy in her suffering, but I do feel closure. Because I didn't need to destroy her to get revenge. I just needed to rise higher than she ever thought I could. And I did. Final reflection. Life tried to break me. It succeeded for a while. But in the pieces it left behind, I found something unshakable. My love for my kids, my strength, and my voice. Emma's gone, but she's everywhere. In the roses, in Liam's drawings, in Noah's laughter. And as long as we keep telling her story, she'll never really be gone. If this story hit you in the heart, smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more stories like this. Tell me in the comments, do you think Claire got what she deserved? Because honestly, a karma doesn't miss.